BC, how are ya? It's been a while. Probably too long. Been trying to find the time. Just been busy. You know, winter's winding up. And it's been a tough winter here in New England. Just a lot of snow, a lot of shitty weather, and spirit crushing weather. So now some of you folks in really terrible wintry snowy places like Alaska and northern Canada can laugh at me, but I don't know, that's where it's been. I haven't gotten out much to do much digging. Just been mining the shelves and, you know, perusing the internet and just getting my learn on and trying to sell some things, get a little cash together, because before I know it, it's going to be yard sales season, you know, tag sales season, and people will be getting back out to the shops again and selling stuff and buying stuff and whatever. So just trying to get my mind into the nicer weather, you know, think positively. Again, I hadn't been on in a while. You know, I haven't stopped listening to music, so I figured I'd share a couple of things from my listening stack. It's like some mostly jazz. It's typical stuff you can expect from me. So first off, Brown Baby by Cyril Paul and Ensemble. So other than the really dope cover, which is what attracted me to this, you know, it was in a box of gospel records, and that also attracted me to it. And it is kind of religious, but it's also kind of blues and kind of funky, but also kind of light. And there's a couple of folk things, which are it's you know, it's a little bit of an up and down ride, but I've actually listened to it a whole bunch of times, and I really like it. It's just a nice record. Excuse me. Cyril Paul, Brown Baby. Again, you know, religious blues folk. I don't know, maybe that'd be a good way to describe it. Religious blues folk. Great album. Yeah, it's gonna fall. Just laying down. Next up, one I've been looking for a little bit. It's a David Murray record. So it's David Murray, Fred Hopkins on bass, and Stanley Crouch on drums. You know, say what you will about Stanley, I don't know what happened to him. Seems to have lost some of his soul somewhere along the way. I don't, you know, it's very. You can look him up if you're not familiar with him. This was recorded live at the Peace Church in New York City in 1976, and it wasn't released till the early 90s. You know, it has that loft feel to it. It's basically two long tracks. Well, it's one track that continues on to side two, and then another track. It's you know, it's a private press, so there's all kinds of weirdness going on here, most of which I find somewhat charming. You know, when it gets to the side of side one, it just stops and you kind of flip it and go on. Just a really exciting time musically, I think. You know, David Murray kind of at the beginning of his career, which has kind of taken off. And yeah, you know, it's just, there's not a lot of documentation about what was going on then. You know, if you guys know of any books or anything that I can check out, feel free to recommend stuff. But yeah, just again, a really kind of exciting musical time period. You know, they got the Wildflowers series. I think that's what they're called, Wildflower series, which are cool. But I like the informal setting of this one, and that's what attracted me to it. Variations on a Coffee Machine, Burton Green, piano, solo piano, side 1. Side 2, he's accompanied by this guy, Keshavan Maslach, on sax. And there's he does some vocalizations too. It's side 2 really does it for me. Side 1 is good, and I really enjoy it, but side 2 is just phenomenal. Variations on a Coffee Machine. Yeah, you know, free form improvisational stuff. I really like this. So if there's a date. Recorded in '77 at Access in Soho. So, you know, another informal setting. Just another solid album. Burton Green. You probably know, you can look him up. He's got a pretty famous ESP record out there. So this one departs slightly. Stumbo Yamashita. I would describe this as more avant-garde. Percussionist, Japanese. Stomu is up to some I mean, he looks like a mad scientist there. Stomu is up to some really crazy stuff on here. Again, very avant-garde. Playing some really interesting instruments there. I've only listened to this, I think, 3 times. I need to sit with it more. Very sparse, very experimental. Lots of cool sounds. You know, as you're listening, you're trying to place what you're hearing. It's just really wonderful. And, you know, it's still kind of, to me, this is still kind of jazz, just more avant-garde. Really, really, really awesome. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher the label. You can look it up. Maybe Fred can. Maybe Fred knows this. I think it's a UK label, but it's a French name. This is one fiery album. Steve Reed, Nova, featuring the legendary Master Brotherhood. Just a solid. This is just an amazing record. Again, very fiery, very hot session. Lots going on. You know, the electric organ comes in at some point, and it just gets, you know, it's it's a very exciting record. Not one maybe for late at night. You know, when you're chilling out with your green or your beverage or whatever. But excuse me. Just an incredible record. Same period, you know, mid 70s. The great drummer Steve Reed. Last one. Cillian Fillion and Legacy. So this is a later recording for him. It's from '93, I think. Can I say it? There's so much to be said about this guy. You can look him up on the internet. But this recording is fantastic. I mean, there's so little here to go on, and you know, I'm not sure, the cover image wouldn't have been my first choice, but you know, maybe you can go with the back here to get a better sense of what's going on. Very lush, very full sound, really well recorded. It was a live performance, and released by Capture Records, and you can actually still get these for a very cheap price. I'll try to put a link down below so you guys can, if you're interested, go get one. I think it's, I don't know if there's CDs, but there's albums, and you can definitely get it. You know, the download files for it. But I would say this is spiritual, very spiritual recording, and again, recorded really well. Just lovely, just a fantastically lovely record. So that's it for my stack. I just want to share one more thing. You know, if you're following my channel, you know the kind of stuff I'm into, and maybe it's the stuff you're into as well. And if you're into the, you know, sort of the freer, more improvisational jazz, you know, I can recommend this book to you. Independent Black Jazz of America. It's a Japanese book, so it's sort of harder to get your hands on, and most of it is in Japanese, but there's tons of fantastic stuff in here. I don't even know if that's showing up. Hopefully some of this is showing up. It's a great research tool, I guess is the way I would describe it. You can really, you know, you can look online for things, but having something to flip through I've found to be helpful. So anyway, it's really awesome. Just breaks down some of the record labels. Not a complete compendium of any sort, but just, you know, a good guide, and something I go to a lot for inspiration. So there you go. Hopefully this hasn't gone too long. You know, it's been watching tons of videos. I probably be better about commenting. Been on the Facebook pages quite a bit, especially the Fraternal Order one. Just sharing stuff and chatting and getting my learn on. You know, I've been at this a while, and you know, I still feel like there's so much to learn. I feel like I'm going to probably run out of time. That's the way it goes. Hopefully you guys are all well. You know, if you dug something that I shared, feel free to put something down in the comments and I'll get back to you. Other than that, hope you're well. For all you folks getting out of winter, hope you hibernated well, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.